Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? We just had some tough technical difficulties and I had to completely restart. So let's go ahead and restart this Q&A and this training. Welcome in, guys. So I will I am going to try my best to see all of your guys's comments, but it's really hard for me when I'm streaming live. So, especially in the Facebook group, which is the High Priestess Tarot School Facebook group, you may want to go to the YouTube or to someplace else because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see your comments. All right, so let's get started, guys. This is the weekly Q&A. We are opening up this Q&A to the public. I will be talking about tarot card combinations, and I'm so glad that you're here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and let's talk about 3 things when it comes to tarot card combinations. So 3 things that tarot card combinations can really help us with is hidden stories, to find hidden stories, or transitions, and deeper patterns. So we were kind of talking a little bit about those hidden stories. I've given you a few tips here to try to unearth those hidden stories for yourself. If you are using tarot card combinations, let me know. Is it something that you've been studying? Is it something that kind of comes a little bit naturally? Is it something you'd like to learn? So let's talk about hidden stories. So I had just pulled randomly 2 cards in conjunction with hidden stories and how to really tap into the power of combinations, and also how when we have these hidden stories that the second card can completely and totally change the meaning of the first card. So let's kind of take a look at that really quick. I'm going to try to pop open the High Priestess Tarot School group, see if I can find my video in here. I'm not even seeing it. Where is the video? Yeah, I'm just having some major tech problems today, guys. So sorry about that. I should be live in the Facebook group, and I am not seeing it in there. Oh, maybe I have to press the button. Hold on. Oops. This will hopefully be helpful. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, tech. I thought that it would be really great just going live on YouTube last time, but obviously that didn't work. Okay, I'm in. I'm live in the group now. So I'm going to have that up on my phone just in case anybody has any questions. By the way, this is the Q&A as well. So if you have any questions at all, go ahead and drop them. I don't think we had any left in the group this week. So, okay. So we're talking about the hidden meanings in tarot card combinations. If I say court card, just know that I am used to talking about combinations in court cards. So it just rolls off the tongue very easily. But we are not just talking about court cards here. We are talking about all cards. So when we pull the 5 of Pentacles, for example, what are some of the things that we're thinking about of the meaning of the 5 of Pentacles? One of the things that really comes up for me is the loss of money, hardship, maybe not having the resources that we need. So those are some of the things that come up. So if I were to just do a 1 card pull, my reading might be something like, either I'm going through a hardship and I am not seeing the resources in front of me, or I'm about to go through a hardship. You know, what I love about this card is there's this like key right here. So she has access to the key, but she's just not noticing it. So those are some of the things I might think of when I get this 1 card. But when we look at combinations, we're mixing multiple cards. So if the second card is the Empress, how does that change the meaning of the first? It can add on to this of maybe not having the resources that we need, feeling like we're at a financial loss. But then this could be like this invitation for creation, an invitation to create that life for yourself, to I love that Vanessa just said, have compassion. Let's go ahead and pop that up on the screen real quick. I'd say an invitation to have compassion and nurturing energy for yourself in a time of loss and discomfort. I absolutely love this this combination here. In addition to maybe if she looked up at she would see that there was something better. Maybe it was the compassion that she could have for herself. Maybe it's a creation that she could bring into the world. And then you said perhaps it could be about creating something in hardship, finding hope, and using creativity. Yeah, I love that so much. I definitely agree with that. I think that all of those are very valid and relevant for this card combination. And so, like we were saying with hidden stories, so let's talk about how to think about hidden stories when we're looking at a card combination. So, hidden stories, I have some little prompts to help you kind of get into it. We've got character directions. So when you look at these two characters, they're facing the same direction. So that could mean that we're able to move forward in the same direction. So moving forward from this place of hardship to creation or to compassion, like Vanessa said. There could be this invitation to look up and see what's available, to see what we can create, to see what nurturing is possible, right? Just by looking at the physicality in these two cards, the people and the character directions. Where are they headed? Where are they facing? What are they looking at? Similar symbols. I mean, we do have a lot of circular symbols here, right? So we've got a lot of circular symbols going on. Do you guys see any similar symbols in these two cards? That's one thing that we can look at too, is symbols. So for example, if we had two keyholes, if we had a keyhole in the second card, that might really emphasize the fact that we have the key already, right? So maybe if we had the Hierophant right here, maybe that could be an emphasis that we have the key to moving forward from this financial loss. Annette says, could it be if she sees or finds the keys, everything will open up and she will feel unstuck? Absolutely. Absolutely. And see how much different that is than just the Five of Pentacles. So it can really help you add to your stories when you're thinking about how the two cards can combine to make a unique energy, a unique, hi James. So we got character directions, we've got similar symbols, we've got connections. Is there any connection with these? We definitely have like a color of yellow here. So if you were somebody who really concentrated on the chakras, you could think of maybe the sacral chakra here in terms of, you know, maybe pulling from some bravery or something like that, because yellow is present in both of these pretty heavily. Eye contact is something else you could look at, and those shared backgrounds. So those are some of the ways that you can find some hidden stories. Anything else you guys would like to add for this combination? We can pull a second combination and talk about transitions. So just in case you haven't gotten a screenshot of this, these are the three things that we're going to be talking about today when it comes to card combinations. That's stories, transitions, and deeper patterns. And we will be talking about this next week as well in the High Priestess Tarot School in the Q&A. We'll just be talking about different qualities of combinations. All right, so when it comes to transitions, some of the things that we can notice here are suit progression. So for example, if you have a page and a knight, maybe it is to move from the sort of curious energy into a more action-based energy within that suit, right? Maybe if you have a transition from major to minor numbers, if they go up or down. So maybe you notice that you have a 5 and then a 6, or a 5 and then a 9. So what does that mean about the transition between these two cards? We've also got elemental changes and chaos to calm. So let's go ahead and practice this a little bit with two cards. I'm just going to pull 2 random. We're just going to use upright for simplicity. So we've got the Judgment card. And we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Look, we've got those similar colors again, too. Let me take this off the screen. Okay, so now we have the Judgment card, right? So the Judgment card is evolution. It's looking at things in a different way. It's evolving in, mind, body, spirit. It's having that new experience. You can consider, like, if you think about manifestation, this is the experience of having manifested that thing. Usually it's a way of being, not really like a physical object of manifestation, but like, for example, if you were like, I want to be less afraid in 2025. And then all of a sudden you notice you've gone to an event and you start talking to people and you're not feeling as shy as you typically would be. This could be that moment of evolution. Oh, wow, look, I have had that aha moment and I've shifted in some way, shape, or form. I like to think of this usually as a way of being. And then, so we have the shift and we have this really beautiful evolution happening. And then how does the 6 of Pentacles add to that evolution? What does the 6 of Pentacles tell us about the evolution that we or our querent is experiencing? So let's just talk about how these 2 cards can inform each other. So remember how I said, if I had an evolution about fear, like maybe my 2025 was all about fear. But maybe we're just looking at this and we don't know what our querent's 2025 goal was. Maybe we could say, have you had a goal of, give and take in energy? Have you had a goal of reciprocity? Have you had a goal of receiving more instead of giving so much? Right? So now we're seeing I or my client has gone through an evolution when it comes to the give and take of energy. So maybe that's that they started charging for their services. Maybe that's that they are allowing the universe to give back to them. Maybe they are actually giving more to their community. So as somebody who's in business, and if I'm thinking about like as a new tarot reader, for example, this could represent somebody starting to give free readings to build up the reciprocity bucket with their clientele. So a reciprocity bucket is when we give and we know that the laws of the universe means that the universe will give back to us. So when we're building a reciprocity bucket, we're giving to our clients, our family, our friends, knowing that the universe will give back to us in some way, shape, or form. Any ideas for this, guys? All right, so let's talk about how these. Let's first talk about the hidden stories here. We've got character directions, we've got similar symbols, we've got connections, eye contact, shared backgrounds. So the thing that really jumps out to me about this is the shared backgrounds, right? There's not a whole lot of eye contact because there's not really 2 people. But we do definitely have hands here, very prominent. There's lots of hands being featured. I was kind of talking about the give and take, which I feel like hands are definitely a part of. Anything else when it comes to those hidden stories? Obviously the blue, the sort of greenish, bluish color that we're seeing here. Paula says judgment can represent a calling to a higher purpose. Yes, I love this. And the 6 of money suggests that this could come through supporting or helping others in a concrete way. I love that, Paula. Perfect. Yes. So when we're adding the 6 of Pentacles, it adds so much to this calling of the higher purpose, right? So when we're thinking of this as a calling or a higher purpose, now we know what that calling or higher purpose is: to give and receive. Supporting and helping others. Yeah, and I love that with the pentacles, like the concrete way being the pentacles, the sort of practical aspect of that. Great job. Okay, so now let's look at the transitions here. We've got suit progression, major versus minor. So we do have major versus minor. So to me, both of these cards, I feel like this card in itself is all about transition. It's all about transitioning to a new way of being. And this is all about transitions within, that give and take of energy. So I don't really see this happening too much with the numbers, with the elemental changes. We do definitely have the pentacles, which are informing that judgment and that evolution. Chaos to calm. These both feel like very calm cards, very peacefully relaxed cards. What do you guys think? So I feel like this demonstrates more of the hidden stories. Let's also talk about deeper patterns. Deeper patterns, repeated symbols. We have the hands, like I said, is definitely something going on. Dominant colors, we've got this teal green color. Similar landscapes. Here, I'll show you guys this too, so you guys can see it. Similar landscapes, shapes or poses, recurring elements. And so those are all sort of things that you can kind of look at to help you connect the cards even deeper. Anything pop out to you guys? Hi, Julia. Should we try a different one? We're going to incorporate all three next. And so when people are talking about stories in tarot, what they're really talking about is how do the cards interact with each other? What is the story that you're trying to learn? Okay, so here we have the Hierophant. So by itself, what could the Hierophant be representing? I've got tradition on here. A lot of times I think of it as spiritual learning, spiritual teaching, tradition, deconstruction. That's because we're streaming in multiple places, James. And I can't pop up the people in the High Priestess Tarot School onto the screen. Anything else for the Hierophant? Okay, so by itself, spiritual teaching, spiritual learning, tradition, deconstruction. Those are some of the themes that I see happening in the Hierophant. And now we've got the Chariot. So now we have drive and purpose and willpower. And we're seeing two major arcana. So what does the Chariot add to the Hierophant? Welcome in. All right, so let's talk about the Chariot. So let's narrow this down a little bit. If this is talking about a spiritual growth, spiritual development, the Chariot could be what is driving my spiritual development. For example, as a spiritual teacher, what is driving my spiritual teaching? Like right now, I am teaching card combinations to help people with the story. So what's driving me is to help people give deeper readings and to allow them to put together a story with multiple cards, right? So this training, my drive, my purpose, the reason why I'm doing it, the reason why I'm teaching this right here is these things, right? So we could be looking for a reason behind working with somebody, a reason behind our teaching, our own teachings, our own spiritual teachings, our own spiritual growth, our reason behind a tradition that we're carrying out. So a lot of times I think of the Hierophant as deconstruction. And a lot of times deconstruction comes with a reason why we're deconstructing. So maybe my drive for deconstructing gender-based things, for example, like I'm not going to do something just because society tells me that as a specific gender I need to, right? What is the drive for that? To make sure that I'm always doing things for me, right? So we can start to put together a story, whether this is for ourselves or our client. If our client has come to us asking about some sort of spiritual gift, then we could be like, okay, what is driving you to know about this spiritual gift, or to increase that spiritual gift, or to learn more about that spiritual gift? What is driving you? I want to feel deeper connection with my spirit guides, for example. So this can help us understand the reasoning behind however this Hierophant is showing up, right? Yeah, Julia, forward movement. This could be forward movement on our spiritual growth, on our deconstruction, on our even teaching. If you were teaching, if you were looking at, like, I'm the Hierophant, I'm the one teaching these traditions, I'm the one providing higher learning, or am I the one seeking higher learning? And this could be forward movement on that. Anything else, guys? Any other ideas? When we look at these hidden stories, we have very similar looking people, which I think is pretty interesting here. So could this be the same person? Could this be somebody who's really joyful in their spiritual tradition, and they're moving forward and they're really so happy here? So I could really see that happening here. Any similar symbols here, guys, that you guys are seeing? Any connections, eye contact? This person is definitely like looking forward, definitely looking in the direction that they're going. This person is just like looking so happy, right? How about shared backgrounds? We do have a bit of like a red theme going on here, like a pinky red for the backgrounds. We don't have suit progression, but they're both major arcana. So these are both really big things for ourselves, for our client. Numbers going up or going down. So here, when it comes to those transitions, we're at number 5 and then we're going to number 7. So there's definitely some movement or progression within those transitions, right? Elemental changes, that's not applicable with these two. Chaos to calm. Happy to driven. Any repeated symbols you guys are seeing? Dominant colors, similar landscape, shapes or poses, recurring elements. So I definitely could see this person being the same person. I think they look pretty similar. Annette says, what about the backgrounds? How do you use that? So you could see that these could even be the same background. They both kind of look like sunsets or sunrises, right? So to use that, one of the things you could do is like, this is the same scene, the same setting. Let's use a couple more and let's look at some backgrounds. So here we have the Lovers card, which looks like a very passionate background. And then we have this sort of the sun shining on this, maybe something that's a little nefarious. We have clarity around something nefarious going on here in this card. And the background is blue. And we've got like a cityscape back here. We've got ravens in front of it as well. We've got a lot going on in this background that shows challenge and hardship. And it feels kind of cold and steely, whereas this feels really passionate, right? So what you can think of is, how do the backgrounds, so here, have I made a commitment to something that's not serving me, right? I like to look at the Lovers as commitment. Or maybe the lovers, we could be like really, really on the nose about this. Like maybe in my relationship, there's some like shadiness going on, right? Within a relationship, there could be some shadiness. So when we look at the backgrounds, this background informs passion, and this background informs like a coldness and like a like something that I don't want to be in, right? So maybe this relationship that I feel so passionate about is making me feel like I'm in a place that I don't want to be in. So we can really jump off of these sort of backgrounds in terms of like, okay, it used to be really passionate and really happy, and I used to be really committed to and in love with this situation, but now I'm seeing some like hard things that are happening. So this is very like transitional. Now I'm seeing some really hard things that I'm feeling really uncomfortable in this relationship, and I'm feeling like there's some nefarious things going on. I'm the light has been shining on some stuff that doesn't feel good anymore. We also have the 6 to the 7 here. So we're progressing from, this passion to not feeling so great about this relationship, right? Or this could be any type of commitment. Maybe I've made a commitment to something I was really passionate about. And now I'm seeing that it's not really working for me. Clarity comes with cooling, less intense and calming. Yeah, I love that so much, Julia. So that's one of the ways that we can use the backgrounds to help us think about that story as a combination. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions for the Q&A too? So those are the 3 things that I really wanted to talk about. You guys did great today. I'm excited to hear how it goes. By the way, there is a guide. Should we check out the guide real quick? I don't think you guys have left any Q&As in the Facebook group. So feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat. This link should be in the description box right now. I've created this guide to help you really understand card combinations. I've given a few examples and how it kind of mixes those 2 energies together. Talking about some ways to practice court card combinations. So you could focus on transitions, you could do daily 2-card pulls, you could check for repeated symbols going on, you can look at the backgrounds. I've given you guys some questions for deeper insight. So for example, I think I can make this a little bit bigger, right? So questions for deeper insight. If these cards were characters, how would they interact? So for example, in the one that we just did, if these cards were characters, so we have 3 characters in this situation, right? We have 3 characters here. How would they interact? So that's another question that you can ask. And on this page, there are lots of different questions that can help you go a little bit deeper and find more ways that you can combine. Don't forget, guys, that there is no wrong interpretation. There's never a wrong interpretation. It's all about giving yourself the freedom to explore and to brainstorm and allow yourself to look at lots of different possibilities for your cards. Okay, so we also have the power pair spread. So I walk you through a little journaling prompt and pulling out 2 cards, and how you can journal around 2 cards. So I encourage you guys to try that out. Any questions, guys? I'm going to check in the Facebook group, see if there's any questions there, but last I checked, there wasn't. Okay, yep, no questions in the group. Any questions from anybody here live today? How are you guys feeling about card combinations? Love it. Love this workbook. Awesome. Did everybody grab the workbook? Alrighty, well, if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. By the way, we do this every single week in the High Priestess Tarot School, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.